bait. Let's go.
Alright.
So welcome back everybody to episode 2 of season 2
Of
Culture
Talk.
Bro, it's been actually been a long time.
It's been more than a minute. It's been 2 months, you know.
2 months.
No.
To be honest, it's been a few days since we filmed, but less we talk about that filming, the better.
Yeah.
I would say things went a bit wrong,
Exactly.
but we're back again. Last time we uploaded was 2 months ago on Culture Talk.
It's mental.
I've missed it, man. I've
missed
honestly missed
so
it.
much.
Like
even the troubles with just trying to get the audio set up, I've missed even that.
So what we did is, me and Josh decided we should up our quality. So we invested in a very
extravagant extra
mixer, which we didn't realize required you to learn about it. You know, we just thought it's like the old
plug and play.
But far from plug and play. But yeah, we're here. I'm hoping this sounds good for everybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be a bit of a catch-up episode alongside a bit of an entertaining topic. But before we continue, we have a surprise on this episode.
Yes.
Some say this unheard of, outspoken. Oh, Mike, you hungry?
I'm hungry.
Some say he's a myth. Some say he's a legend.
Yeah.
Some say he's not even a human being.
Raw.
But we have an unknown person
behind the camera.
Would you like to just say hello quickly, please?
Hi guys. Good evening. Good night. Wherever it may be.
So we have this unknown character that's going to be part of a podcast. Apparently, when his schedule is open.
Yeah, whenever.
To play almost devil's advocate, to add some spice.
Yeah. To
add some life into some of the episodes. So we hope to see you more often, mate.
I mean, when I'm around, I'll jump on.
Don't worry.
There will be a cash prize for anyone that guesses who it is.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure people in comments will, so somebody might, but we're never going to confirm or deny. So, yeah.
No face, no case.
No face, no case.
So, yeah, let's jump into it. Josh.
Yeah.
Since 2 months ago, from when we last spoke to everybody here, where have you been? What have you been doing? How's your life?
Well, the last upload was, I think it was October the 30th. So, like, since then, that was me halfway through first term of MSc Entrepreneurship, which I'm studying now at UCL. Yeah. And at that time, it was calm. Everything was chill, relaxed, no deadlines, getting to know people in the course. You know, had like these fun, like events going on, networking. Been doing a lot of that recently. So I basically just been doing that. Had an exams in December.
How was that?
Which was, man, when it got to November, December, it was actually stress. Like, I honestly, everything just started to kick up. All the deadlines just kicked in, and it just reminded me like what it was like to be at uni.
Yeah.
Even though I went straight into it from graduation, like it was just such a shock
to the system, wasn't it?
Yeah, for real.
What's funny is in our last upload, you talk a vlog about you going to that exam and everything.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, it was.
That was my last one.
That's the last video on Culture Talk.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah, it's literally the last one.
Yeah. So whoever's been through that mid-term exams, I hope you got the grades you've wanted. I hope you've done well, and I hope you succeed in the other exams coming up.
Yes. Update on that. I ended up getting a 2-1. Which
when you told
me personally,
no, when you message
me personally,
but when you messaged me, you were like, "Oh, I got a 2-1, mate." Like, "Oh,
yeah,
my life is so tough." Oh. Bruv, you're doing an entrepreneurship masters, yeah, with 2 hours sleep, last minute revision, and you pull out a 2-1.
48 hours still. But nah, I don't care. The way I banged out revision in that 48 hours was new, bruv. Nobody's ever seen that much work been put in with no sleep. Yeah, I just felt like the answers blessed me that day, but the grade did not bless me. But anyway, you know what? 2-1's a 2-1. I put in like clearly it reflected the hours I put in. I can't really complain too much, and the 60's decent. I roll with it.
One person that does last minutes a lot is the unknown person,
unknown man behind the camera. I'm often
you are well known amongst the people that know you because you are unknown, but the people that do know you know that you never do anything on time.
I mean,
if you like to hold the mic a bit close to you,
I mean, yeah, that is true. Like, I do push it late. I mean,
when you say push it late,
Yeah, push it. Start it after the deadline.
Yeah,
That's nothing.
there you go. He starts his coursework after the deadline has happened.
I mean, it's good, isn't it?
He still pulls through. He pulls through somehow, but like I
Yeah,
don't know
I don't
how
know
you
how.
put yourself
Josh,
through.
you said a pass is a pass.
I did
And
say
now you
that.
moved on to a 2-1
That's
is a
true.
2-1.
In bachelor's, I was all about a pass is a pass, 2-1's calm.
Yeah.
But masters, I don't know why my mindset's changed. Like I'm never aiming for distinction, but then I'm getting more now. So like I've kind of set that as a standard.
Oh.
No. Don't worry.
Getting more.
Catch up with me in a few weeks. Yeah,
No.
all good out here.
No, I gotta give it to both of you actually, because you both are still at university. Like you know, I've seen it. You know, are like it's a daily grind. Honestly, like it's so different from bachelors. Obviously, I've only done bachelors, so my experience is in bachelors. But to see you guys doing masters, you lot are like pretty much every week or every other week you've got some sort of deadline. Like haven't you? Like
Yeah,
pretty
literally,
much.
more or less.
It's a new problem every week.
Yeah, it's a new problem every week, and I don't even think this term we've really gotten into the nitty gritty. Like for me and the man behind the camera, we have a deadline on
not say his name.
Thursday. I will try my hardest not. I'm trying hard not
I
to.
don't
Really.
same with that. Same with.
We have a deadline on Thursday, and basically from then we have a deadline every single week until exam season,
That's for me.
and then we have 2 in 1 week. So like basically every single week from next week is just peak. So that's why I'm here. That's why I'm relaxing. That's why we're chilling. That's why we're podcasting. You know what I'm saying?
To be honest, this is like the calm before the storm.
Yeah, it's the calm before.
So that's why we've put to be honest, we've put a lot of emphasis in the last, because we did like a relaunch of Culture Talk.
Yeah.
We just came back we just come back. We feel like a lot better.
Yeah.
We've been a lot more productive, and we've been putting things in place. And like this, I think the last 2 weeks has pretty much every day just been, how can we take the next step?
Yeah,
Really.
a lot of planning.
A lot of planning. We've also got a lot of guests coming up. So I
real.
think you've pretty much enjoyed this week of just like, this is your last week before all hell breaks
Accepting
loose.
fate.
Accepting
Basically
fate.
what it is.
Accepting fate.
Yeah.
What is interesting as well is, luckily, because we're known for being IMB students, right?
Of course.
We started as IMB students. You then moved on and became an entrepreneurship master's student.
Yeah.
The man behind the camera, however, did his IMB, then moved on to the IMB masters.
Yeah.
Which I think some people that have gone on to IMB have just started IMB, listen to our podcast first.
Yeah.
So if you are planning to go into the masters, I'd be interested to hear what you have to say about the IMB masters.
I mean, it's tricky because
Just a bit close to your mouth.
I wasn't really sure about what I wanted to do,
Yeah.
and I think that's a big part of why I'm still at uni.
Okay.
And like, the thing that I think about is like, should I have done it? Should I have just finished, got a job, or chilled at home? I mean, it is really tempting just to it was really tempting for me to finish uni and just leave. But because I wasn't sure of what I wanted to do next, I just stuck in uni. And it's probably not the best reason to do like an integrated masters, but you know, it's what you guys were planning on doing. It's what I did. And I mean, as it's like term 2 now, I really wish I could just go back and discuss with you guys like why I did it.
What's different from the bachelor's IMB to the master's IMB? So from workload to the sort of stuff that you're learning, what was the major differences?
I mean, it's not all too different. You do just modules like you do in any other year. The main difference is, instead of a dissertation, you do a consultancy project that's worth 2 modules, so it's weighted the same as a dissertation. And
so you don't have a choice. It has to be.
And because there's so much freedom with that, there's a lot of uncertainty.
Okay, I can imagine.
I'm sure you guys feel the same.
Yeah.
When you're uncertain about something, you're like,
it's hard to get motivated to do something. To put yourself in that situation. Yeah.
Yeah, there's like, you can use a dissertation like structure if you want, but if you work with a company and you know, you don't even know what they're gonna expect you to do, and there is a mark scheme obviously, but because there's so much flexibility in what you can do and what you might be told to do, you're not too sure. Like, you could do something and then the company could really like it, but then you're not sure how that's going to be marked, because it's not something that you can look back and see. I mean, unless it's you're doing a consultancy project with a company that's been done in the past, you're just, I guess you're shooting in the dark, basically.
Of course, right? Because so much of it relies on the company's expectations and whether they think your input has actual weight to it, right? I'm sure that also lends itself to the grade and the outcome, which is, I think, really difficult. But I genuinely think it's admirable that you continued on MSci IMB.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
Because I got shook and I ducked the hell out.
Why do you think
I was
I'm not
like,
there
I can't.
anymore? Like, I dipped out of it thinking, then I was like, all right, what did the
It was
entrepreneur?
some of the modules that worried you, didn't it?
Yeah, it was the modules.
But then you ended up doing a module which was not too different. Anyway.
Exactly. So I'm
yeah,
still,
that's true. Yeah. So, would you advise students who might be thinking they might be going into the third year and thinking to switch on to the 4-year course of IMB and not the 3? Would you advise them? What sort of advice would you give them in take? I know you didn't really think it through. I don't want to.
I mean, yeah, that's fair to say. I mean, my advice would be that you've got no choice because it's not actually going to be kind of part of the program anymore.
Oh yeah.
Because of the number of students who are doing it is so low.
So they're taking it out. I didn't know this.
Yeah,
I heard about this. Yeah.
Each year has like a representative. There's a few, I think, and they have like annual meetings with the department to discuss like parts of the course. And I think in the more recent ones, they just kind of brought up the fact that not many people are doing the course. So yes, UCL are going to pull the plug on that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still going to be there for kind of students who started already. So if you're a current student of IMB, you can do it, but it's something that I would make sure you discuss a lot with like the program director. Like I'd say have a meeting and see if it's really something that you want to do, because there's so few people doing it, it can be a bit tricky to like kind of know what it's like unless you just somehow know someone who's done it.
And I think the same thing is applicable to a lot of master's programs, actually. Like one thing, a video I watched from a YouTuber called Adama, she studied geography for her bachelor's, and she did a more specialized master's, which I think incorporated engineering. But she discovered that during it actually wasn't challenging enough at all. And I think a lot of people apply to masters either because they just don't know what else they want to do with their life, or they just want to specialize more in a degree and do a 1-year course on that. And she didn't find it challenging enough. And I think that's a problem a lot of students who go on to a master's for the challenge face. So I think I was admirable of her to drop out of that anyways.
It is. Can you imagine making that decision just to drop out because like it's not challenging enough?
Exactly.
Some people like it to be easy.
Exactly. And some people just like it like that. So like, that's the thing. I think in terms of master's programs, it is good to speak to your program director and also to students who have done the course before to get an understanding of sort of the nature of the modules, whether it's challenging enough, because it's quite a big step financially and also, mentally. You need to decide whether you can take that time out to further your education. So, yeah.
Out of curiosity, how many exams do you have for masters?
I don't think we have many exams. I think it obviously depends on what electives you pick.
Okay.
I think I've got 2, maybe.
So what's weird about IMB is it's like first year you start off with, we had like 6 or 7 exams.
6 exams first.
6 exams. Second year it went down to like 4, wasn't it?
3,
and then it went down to 2.
Yeah.
It's like like, so with IMB it starts off hard and it goes down.
Yeah, it goes down.
Really I just remember first year. Do you remember first year? Like we were like, everyone's getting into uni, everyone's relaxing, and then all of a sudden, coursework deadlines and exams just went.
Just knock you the hell out.
Just
knock
like
you the hell out. It's crazy. But then third year is just a complete flip side where it's like, yeah, you have less exams, but for me, the dissertation put me in such, and I'm seeing a lot of Instagram posts on my feed now with people going over their dissertation projects, and like, you can see how happy people are when they finally get to take the picture of that dumbass piece of booklet, whatever the hell it is. Like, they're just so happy to get it out of their hands.
However, we didn't have to print ours out.
We didn't. Oh yeah, we didn't. Electronic
We
copy.
did electronic
So I was
copy.
happy to ship that off, boy.
I pressed send, and I was like, I am
blood,
proofreading.
sweat, and tears that went into that. It genuinely killed me mentally. I don't even want to go back there because I have another one this year.
I don't know. I know dissertation was hard, but I don't know. For me, I don't think I stressed over that much.
Nah, you didn't stress over it that much, man.
I didn't. I was just like,
Nah.
I did work here and there. No, it was hard, like formulating them. Why are you laughing at me behind the camera?
I think you got into autopilot and it finished itself.
Yeah, I think I kind of did. I'll be honest. I literally will be honest with you. After I wrote it, I didn't proofread it once. Remember, I got you to like read over it for me, and you skimmed over it quickly.
Yeah, I remember.
Not advised, by the way.
Yeah, not advised. Please read your dissertations. We did not read ours.
Please don't take what I've just said to you as like it works.
Read your dissertation.
I got 74, but
Hey man,
Sorry, boss.
sorry, boss.
sorry guys. But I would advise you actually put your like full attention into it. Read it over and over again, because like that's mad without proofreading a dissertation and sending off. Like.
No, I'm happy because all of the people I'm speaking to this year who are doing dissertations, they're already done or they've already started early, like, which is crazy.
Why didn't we start early then,
We
Josh?
always make the same mistakes, and I'm still making the same mistakes. 4
you-
years later.
You're making the same mistake still, aren't you?
Sadly, yeah. But
How's that
Both
consultancy
of us.
project going?
so I had a meeting with the person that founded the startup I'm working with.
Yeah.
And I feel actually a lot better about it now.
Yeah, because I remember I was talking to you last week and you weren't really.
Yeah, it was the number one thing that was stressing me out.
You weren't in a good way
But-
there then.
I had a meeting with the guy and I feel a lot better. I mean, you don't really gauge too much from emails back and forth, because I was just emailing like, when can we meet? Oh, I've done this. Have you done this? But yeah, I feel a lot better now, because I mean, he can actually explain like his kind of business idea. And yeah, I mean, it was really good. And I mean, I'm not too stressed about. I'm more stressed about the assignment that Josh and I have due in a few days,
Yeah.
and every other module.
Oh yeah. So what's quite cool is even though is doing the IMB, we'll bleep that. We'll bleep that. I flopped. I said your name. I said his name. Can you bleep that? In editing?
Yeah, I can do that.
It happened. I said your name by accident. Even though unknown behind the camera.
That's my government, man.
Yeah,
So
can't be dropping government names.
Can you beat that in edit?
Yeah.
You have to do a bit of editing in this one.
Forget.
Just remember, it's like 14 minutes in.
Yeah.
So he unknown behind the camera is doing a IMB masters, and you're doing an entrepreneurship masters, but you're still able to pick an elective that meant you guys can work together.
Yeah.
That's quite cool.
Which is really cool. Yeah, definitely. Like, as soon as I knew I was doing entrepreneurship, and like I knew both of us definitely would like, because we just, even though we have the same bad habits, we kind of managed to like
get through it. Yeah.
So I was like, we need to pick an elective
Together.
that we
What
can
elective
both
is
do.
this?
It's called Managing the Growing Firm. So it focuses on what strategies you can employ to ensure companies that are already growing can grow even more at an accelerated rate. That's basically what it's about. And it's based around case studies. So we read case studies and have to use frameworks to analyze these companies. I'm talking like I understand it, but I have a deadline on Thursday, and we will see, because at the moment, there is no understanding.
Have you not started it?
I haven't started it.
Nothing.
Zero.
I don't think he's read the brief.
I haven't read
Same
nothing.
thing.
Bro, I'm so
I've read the case,
I'm-
but not the brief.
I'm so happy I'm not doing any of this stuff now.
And somebody just messaged me asking me, like, what frameworks am I using? No frameworks have been used. No frameworks have been used.
What is a framework?
What's a framework?
What's a framework? What do you mean?
Yeah, please don't follow my examples.
You can just bang it out after this podcast.
Man said bang it out, you know. What time
To
is it?
be honest, it's 2 a.m.
And my lecture's
I'm-
at
I'm
10
a-
a.m. in
I'm
one
a
Canada
family.
Square.
What 10 a.m.? That means you have to leave your house by 9.
Yeah, 9, yeah.
Jesus.
Which means I have to be up by 8.
Yeah, well, I mean, you.
Don't worry
well,
about me, man. I'll be there 10 a.m. punctual. Don't worry.
But what do you message tomorrow? I didn't make it. I didn't
No,
make
what? I best believe I'll be there. Swear
Yeah.
to God. Yeah, Culture
Well,
Talk story post. I'll be
extra
there.
early and get Mackey's
Yeah,
breakfast.
you know what? I think we need to give Josh some slack in the comments on our Instagram. No, because you are living it up in Canary Wharf every single
Man
day,
said
but you
living up.
don't share no stories, you
Man
don't
said
share
living
no
up.
pictures. I had to literally grab it out of your phone.
Nah.
That picture we just posted on Instagram.
What do you mean, Shannon?
Check our Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. All the links will be in the
YouTube,
description.
everything.
YouTube, everything.
Yeah.
Well, we are on YouTube. Oh, I mean, actually, some people listen. Anyway,
Yeah, some
everything
people,
is on the description. We also want from you, Josh. I'm talking
What do you want from
as a fan, as a viewer.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
We also want a study with me.
Yeah. I need to be doing that.
We also
Should
want
we do that?
a day in the life of
Day in the life of who?
A
you.
Of me?
serious candidate.
A
like Josh.
entrepreneurship
Of an unserious candidate.
of an unserious candidate doing entrepreneurship
Yes.
masters.
Yeah.
So these are all videos we want.
Yep, they'll be coming
coming
soon.
We also mentioned I think it'll be out on Instagram by the time this is out. We are doing a short film soon
Yes.
at UCL, which we have come up with. It's still being planned, but we would like a videographer or photographer or an editor who would like to be on board to collaborate with us on this. So if you just let us know by email, socials, if you'd like to be involved, it would be lovely.
Now, before we move on to today's kind of topic, what have you been up to? Because we've been waffling about what we've been up to. What have you been up to? Where have
Been a
you
lot of
been?
waffle from us, to be honest.
Yeah.
What have I been
you
up to, bro?
Yeah.
I've been growing my business.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly.
Growing your beard as well.
No, bro, listen, you're actually annoying. Before I left my yard today, I said, Josh, let me shave quickly. And you said, nah.
I said, nah, leave it. Let it grow,
Bro,
man.
I wanted to make...
There's people out here, yeah, with no beards. My beard won't connect, fam. You've got beard hair.
I've got a bit of stubble coming out here. I wanted to line it up nicely.
This guy's worrying about
But he didn't let me
some
line it
little-
up, bro. He
some
told me,
little
nah,
patch.
let's go. We need to go. And I was
This
like,
guy's worrying about some little patch.
bro, come on,
Anyway,
man.
growing your business.
So I'm working on the business. I've been going to some training courses to learn a bit more. Because like, to be able to expand, I need to learn certain things I don't know. I've been networking, so meeting new people, creating new opportunities, and it's because it's like the early stage of a new business. It's like a Monday to Sunday, no work, no official hours. You could be working any time of the day, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I just say to myself, this is the first year of it. First couple years of it's probably going to be hard like this. It's probably going to be like a lot of sacrifices. I've sacrificed family time with friends, because like it's weird because now every conversation I have it's always got to do with work.
And yeah, I think it's good you brought this up, because I think this is the misconception about running your own business.
Yeah,
You think because you're not doing the traditional 9 to 5 in an office, that because you're self-starting and bootstrapping, it's going to be easy, it's going to be simple, or it's going to be more relaxed. It's genuinely not. It can be more relaxed if you're not putting in all your effort, but
then
like,
your business is not really
your business
going
is not
anywhere.
going to thrive. But if you are and you actually want it to thrive, it will actually be more time that you're putting in probably than a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
But the benefit is that the reward from that is greater, and more likely your happiness not working for somebody else is greater.
For me, my whole thought process was, look, I went to university. I could but I could go out and apply for a job, get a job. But I've grown up in a family where it's been like my dad's runs his own businesses, right? My granddad has his own businesses. My uncles have their own businesses.
Yeah.
So I've always been in that environment of people running their own businesses. Obviously, when I first wanted to do this, my dad and my mum were quite uncertain. Like, what is he doing? He's got his degree. Go and get a job. I know you're laughing behind the camera because you also have parents like mine. But what I said to my dad, like inevitably, was because he was worried about me. He didn't want to explicitly say it because my dad wants to be open. But I explained to him. I said, if I went and got an office job right now, I know that every day that I get into the office and I sit down, I'll be thinking like, what if I started a business? Like, the question would be, what if? But what I'm thinking now is, say I'm doing this work right now, right? In 2 months, this completely goes down the drain or something, and I've got a degree to fall back on. I can then go and apply for a job, and then when I'm sitting in the office, I can say, at least I tried.
Exactly. And you did that. You've been there, you've done that.
Yeah, at least I tried. So that's why I'm really trying to put focus on like making this work, so I can like show my parents that I made the right decision, and like live the dream that I have, basically. Live the dream. I'm not like putting down like, going to a 9 to 5, but I like,
of course,
I like having the freedom of me being in control of how much money I can make, me being in control of what I can do. Because I don't know, 'cause a lot of people might just like think, oh, you're entrepreneur. Like,
Yeah.
why are you trying to push out this entrepreneur life? But like in a normal job, right? Like whoever's your boss, your manager, or whatever, they will give you a salary. They will make you redundant when they want to make you redundant. They will tell you when you can and when you can't work, and you have to report back to them. This is normal. Yeah, that's a job. Yeah, I mean I've had many jobs where I've had managers and stuff, but I just felt like this is for me. Like this is what I like to do, and it's not for everybody, and not everybody should do it. No, you should do what's best for you. But yeah, I waffled there a bit, but I've just been great. But what I want to talk about this is you know how everyone thinks that on like if you own a business is easy. Like when I literally say it's like the sacrifices I've had to make, it's been so hard. Because first of all, I've left university, so I don't see my friends often anyway. Then I'm so busy every single day. It's like I don't have the time to like message you, let's go do this for the day. Like I don't have that time.
You've lost a sense of security.
And I can't. Yeah, that's massive. I lost a sense of security, and like I can't make pre-plans. Like I can't tell you, oh yeah, you guys, let's meet up on Wednesday and go do this, because I don't know what can come up.
Yeah.
Like I have to tell you either on the day or a couple hours before.
Yeah.
Like with our friend behind the camera here, there's been times where like we want to just meet up and chill, but what would happen is he would come with me on some of the jobs that I have to do.
Yeah.
And afterwards we'd eat something together, but like it would have to first be the work part.
Of course.
But obviously it's early. I'm just trying to find that balance, and once I find that balance and things are off and running and they're on, like it's growing. Then
once you build it to a place where you can delegate more, but still be overseeing operations,
exactly, 100%.
Then you can start to
at the end of the day,
relieve some of the work.
I can't take a back seat right now because I need to learn.
Exactly,
like,
that's the thing.
There's so much I don't know that's not good that I need to know, because if I am going to expand this business, I need to know a lot more.
And I think that's kind of the beauty of entrepreneurship. When you look at all of these companies, Amazon, Google, they're like, you look at the CEOs and you think, like these entitled, like rich people, have all the money. But like at some point, and whether they did have money beforehand or not, at some point they did have to put themselves through the trenches to get their company to a stage where they could look for investment and build it up to the multi-million or multi-billion-dollar companies they are now.
Yeah, exactly.
They all have had to put themselves in a position where
it's difficult. It's tough.
It's difficult. It's tough.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's it's good you're doing that.
Thank
and
you.
like 100%, like it will pop off.
Yeah,
in a good time.
Another thing, since we've got Coach Talk going again, I think I haven't felt this motivated and this driven about it before.
Yeah, neither have I. Honestly,
I'm so ready to like take this to the next level. Honestly, like if you know some of the content we have planned on my notes right now, you guys would be very happy.
The ideas have been coming in. We have so much planned. Like this year, we're probably gonna go for it. Like
honestly, like I've missed this. I've missed
so much.
I've missed this. I've waffled enough about myself. I like talking about myself, but sometimes I like to be humble and
just shut up. Sometimes just shut up.
Did you hear that? Come on, you have to back me here. Did you hear what you just said to me?
That was rude, Josh.
Keep quiet. Okay, all right. So what are we talking about? Yeah. Okay, so
I'm not gonna talk anymore. That's it. You ruined your chances of me being the second podcast host.
All
I'm
right.
joking. What's the? Okay, now let's move on.
Yeah.
What is the main topic behind? This is something you told me in the car the other day, and I just thought, wow, like this is actually so true.
Yeah. So on the topic of decisions, which you mentioned when you were waffling just now, basically
you're gonna sit there and not back me. You're actually gonna sit there and not back me. No. You're my older brother.
So on the topic of
It's
decisions,
yes.
all three of us had decisions to make once we
Managerial
realized.
decisions.
Exactly.
I was literally just waiting.
I'm glad you said that.
I was literally just waiting for someone to say
exactly.
that. Yeah.
Literally managerial decisions.
Yeah.
Once April hit in 2019 and we kind of realized our bachelor's was coming to an end, we had decisions to make. I had the decision of I had to decide whether I wanted to do an integrated master's, which I knew would be the same financial burden with not much difference. I'd get a government loan and a bursary, or whether I wanted to do a separate master's program, which would be a heavy financial burden in 14,000 master's program with no bursary and no help,
Mm-hmm.
or I could have done a 9 to 5 and, you know, gone and worked in an office. Meanwhile, you had the same. You could have done a master's or gone into work on your startup property.
Yeah.
And also could have decided to end that bachelor's, work in an office, said the name again, I'll blur it out, or or do whatever else.
13 and 27 minutes.
13, 27, cool. So those were the options all of us had, and I decided to go for a master's, even though I knew I hadn't saved money adequately during my bachelor's. As both of you will know, often my bank account's on zero by the end of the term somehow.
It wasn't that with all of us. Like
all of us. I don't know how.
I would have peas in my account.
Exactly.
Boy, in uni when the thing dropped, money was there. But I swear, a couple months down the line, I'm thinking like, where has that much money gone?
Go? And the thing is, I live at home. There should be no excuse. But
where does your money go, mate?
4 chicken thighs, creamy mash, extra drink. That's where it goes.
It has to be the double garlic bread thing, Nando's.
Oh, you always get a double garlic.
Always get
you
double
love your
garlic
carbs,
breads.
you know.
I love.
We're actually going to Nando's on Wednesday for my birthday.
Oh yeah, it's a birthday. Bare things happening next week.
Mine and Saran's joint birthday. We are going to Nando's.
Joint birthday, Valentine's Day next week. Everything happening
Everything's
next week.
happening.
Deadline next week. Everything happening.
Means you taking me out.
Oh no. Keep saying my government. I don't think.
Yeah, he said it again.
Actually,
yeah.
What time is it now?
Don't worry, I'll go through.
Yeah.
But yeah, on what was I saying? Yeah, so saving money, didn't save well enough. By the end of my bachelor's last year, May time, I probably had, let's say, like £2,000 savings left. And the reason I'm being transparent with this is because it's definitely a lesson to be learned.
Everyone goes through this, man. Honestly,
I got to the stage where I'm being true to myself, where I was like, I haven't got any offers for jobs I want to do. I'm interested in education. I am interested in entrepreneurship. So I could do a master's. What should I do? I feared the uncertainty of not having a job that I want to do in September. And so I applied to UCL MSc Entrepreneurship. To my fortune, I somehow got the offer for it. But knowing that, I also had a £2,000 fee deposit to pay. And that was basically all the money I had. So I paid the tuition fee deposit. Now, I wouldn't say that's a wise decision. It wasn't a wise decision because, you know, masters are a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know,
100%.
you need to be prepared to be able to do that.
Yeah,
but I thought I could subsidize that with a part-time job, which I have now, in IT services. And it hasn't managed to cover the rest of the tuition fee costs that, you know, I've incurred. So basically, the government give a maximum of 10k, and the masters cost 14,000. And then obviously there's a 2,000 tuition fee deposit you also pay beforehand.
Yeah.
So I basically have had to pay 4,000 back, and I haven't been able to pay a penny. And I was thinking of dropping out a few weeks ago.
But here we have Josh and his finesse tactics.
Yes.
No, not finesse tactics. He went down the right routes. And if anyone else actually facing this would probably be very good for you.
Yeah,
actually.
because it's actually crazy. I've spoken to 2 people in the last week who have said they were thinking of dropping out. Not even necessarily just because of financial reasons. There might be other reasons. But like, if it is financial, like in my case where I couldn't afford tuition, I literally went to my department and explained to them, like, you know, like, I've been struggling financially. Like, I don't, you know, live with parents. I'm more or less independent. I don't have parents around me.
Yeah.
And they were happy to help fund my tuition fees, but like part of it. But like already after I had that experience and having that fear and anxiety that I would have had to drop out or switch to a part-time student and not knowing how to fund it, I thought to myself, how do people from our backgrounds that do bachelors at universities in the UK, how can they possibly progress to levels like professors or lecturers when there are so many burdens, not just in terms of diversity and race within faculties, but also financially? There's not enough support for students like us.
It's a game of if you can afford it, then you can do it. Whereas there's a lot of people that financially are not able to do it, but they are the people that, if they were put in certain positions, can probably change the world. Like,
Exactly.
it sounds like I'm going to an extreme, but it is like that.
It's so true. Like, you think about all of the research, all of the students at universities like UCL, King's, all of the universities in the UK, how much we're contributing towards research. And a lot of universities over the past few years have been asking the questions, why aren't professors black, or why aren't more
Mm.
professors Asian, or why aren't they more female and BAME? And there's so many factors, and that leads to the sort of Eurocentric faculty, leads to very Eurocentric research papers that are very one-sided.
Yeah,
and
there's
not
no
diverse.
difference. Yeah, exactly.
There's no diversity in research, and with that, how can we plan, or how do we think we are going to understand issues on ethnicity and diversity within various fields, from medicine to engineering? There's so much, like, without the diversity in the faculty, in the teaching, in the research, not much is going to change.
Well, what do you think on, like, why do you think there isn't many? So that's what Josh thinks. So what you personally, why do you think there's not many, ethnic minorities in these positions of, like, professors and what have you?
PhDs,
Yeah. Like, what would you say is the issue here?
Because it's a hard one. I think even
I want to be completely transparent and upfront about it. It's mainly old white men.
Yeah, mainly.
Like, I don't want to sound like I'm, but there isn't many, and I don't think it's a thing of, like, oh, we're just, like, the ethnic minority people are just not interested in it. We are interested in it. But I strongly feel there's not enough support out there.
Yeah.
An example I'll give you is, you remember when we wanted to do Entrepreneurship Masters and we asked about it, and I won't say the name of the person. The person just said, go and ask your mum and dad for money.
Exactly.
But how do you know our parents can afford that?
Yeah.
Not everybody is on the same boat. Do you know what I mean? So what's your opinion on the whole situation?
I mean, I think the problem becomes more apparent once you've finished an undergraduate course, because even though we have a student loan to pay back, you go into university without paying a penny, essentially. And then when you're faced with having to do a course which has, like, an over £14,000, sometimes 30,000 or more tuition fee, which you can cover part of, but then you've got to fund it yourself. And you're still young, you don't really know exactly what you want to do. But if you want to pursue academia, it's a lot harder if you don't have, like, if your family can't support you, and you haven't, carefully planned financially what you're going to do, because you're still young, you're at university, you're going to spend money. Some of us are frugal, but I mean, I'm definitely not frugal. You're not frugal.
Oh, no.
And I think even if you were, you'd still just fall short of making those timely payments.
What was that? What does that tropical word frugal mean?
It's a tropical.
That's quite like,
Frugal means,
like, free with.
You
basically
go to the clearance section.
Yeah.
And then even if the clearance isn't on final clearance, you're like, nah. It's got to be 20p or less.
Exactly.
Analogy for it. Okay, I see. All right then. Yeah, I kind of cut you off as you were saying.
I don't know too much about how to answer the question of why there aren't as much diversity in academia. I mean, it's
a difficult one.
It's a difficult question.
Very.
Okay, if not, why not? What can be done to have more diversity? What can be done? Where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
Where there's a problem, there's a solution.
Yes, true. Very true.
So the solution is the hardest part, I think.
Is the hardest part.
So now give me answers.
But I feel like...
Give me answers.
I feel like the stepping stones along the way need to happen on a departmental level.
Okay.
For example, part of the process into becoming a professor is that you need to have a certain level of... there are, like, these qualifying checks you need to have. So part of them are, like, your PhD supervisions. You obviously need to have... in a lot of cases, done a doctorate, become a doctor. There's many checks that come in place, right?
Yeah.
And there needs to be more mentoring, not just generally, but from a BAME perspective. Like, I understand that universities are putting more BAME students into admissions now, like within the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And that's been great. There's a lot more sixth form students, but there's still a massive dropout and will be a massive dropout after you finish your undergraduate degree. And like, that is mostly why, like, on my course, for example, I'm probably one of the youngest people on the course, just because for most people, it's not financially viable to do a master's.
Honestly, yeah.
And that alone could stop somebody from wanting to pursue one.
What I like about you, Josh, is you're in certain situations, you're fearless, and you know you have the self-belief and the persistence to, even with the roadblocks that will come in your way, you almost know that you're going to overcome them. And I honestly respect that. I respect that highly.
I appreciate that, man. I think it's luck. It's like I really shouldn't have done a master's.
You know, you say it's luck, but the things you have gone through, yeah. And I'm ranging this back from your home life. I don't want to take it too personal, but the circumstances that you grew up in, right? To see where you are right now, honestly, mad respects for you. Like, honestly,
thanks, man.
Because I've told you this in the past. Like, I will be honest with you. Like, people that are from the circumstances you have come from, don't go to university. Not just your master. I'm talking about just bachelors, or not even finish like sixth form.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. Like, so like the fact that you and your brothers, like,
my
like
brothers
Richard
as well,
and Francis,
honestly, big up to them.
They like honestly, there needs to be more people like you guys in the world with that mentality that you have. Like, big time. Yeah,
like, honestly, I think if I was a single child, it would have been different. But those two set the example in it. So, like,
they set pace. Honestly,
yeah, they set pace. And it's I feel like the same can be done in terms of role models in the PhD, in the professor space. We just need to look up to those who have made it before, and you know, we need to have more supervision and departmental help and access, financially and also just personally on a one-to-one level, about how more BAME students can get into those spaces.
I think we just people that are probably discouraged by, you know, PhDs or being able to pay for, you know, to advance their education, look at the people that are from the same background, ethnic minorities, if you want to say, that are doing something in the field and now making that change, and take them as motivation. Even though they might not be where they want to be, take their work and how they're working towards it as motivation.
For sure.
Because if we can't get help from outside, we need to help ourselves from within.
Yeah.
Yeah. We need to break the barriers, right? And we need to be persistent, you know? There's that cliche saying, never say never, you know what I mean? Like,
of course.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
Like, I'm bringing out all the words today, fam.
We're bringing out all of them, innit?
Because honestly,
it's true though.
We don't need someone to hold our hand.
No, but and like, it ultimately comes down to this, like, our perception, our scientific research, a lot of it comes from universities. Our understanding of the world, a lot of it comes from universities. We won't have a good understanding of the differences in our world, in how things work, in people, until we have different perspectives in the research, in the fields. It just won't be the case. We will always have a very one-sided, one-dimensional view of how things work, and we can't have a balanced outcome or perception unless that changes.
I think you summarised that beautifully, to be honest. Honestly, said that nicely.
Do
you have any opinions on that?
No further opinions from me.
Love that.
As you said, it's been summarised by...
You're going to fire me from behind the camera, man. As you said.
I'm safe behind the camera.
It's been nice. Is there anything else you want to add to that?
What else is there to say? Is there anything else you need to
add to that?
I'm dropping a fire mixtape. We got some new equipment, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
This equipment's mad.
I'm not even joking.
No lie, I'm dropping a fire thing.
That's another project that will come up. I think we can...
so much grease, I'm tired.
No, I think you should, you know.
Huh?
I think you should.
I recorded some stuff before, innit?
Now I've got the fire equipment things. You want to add anything before we swiftly depart today?
I mean, after...
I said my name again.
Say my name one more time.
sorry.
I'm done.
Basically, don't worry. Josh is gonna go for the episode.
Yeah.
We don't usually edit it, but this time we'll bleep your name out because we want to keep you, anonymous. But it's been a bit hard not to say your name because we see your cute face behind the camera. And
It's difficult, isn't it?
it's difficult. Isn't
Sorry.
it? But honestly, it's been lovely. I've loved it. I've loved sitting down in front of a camera again,
Yeah.
in front of a microphone.
First ep of 2020.
2020, first ep. Oh, wait, I
Ep.
just realized when you said ep.
Episode.
No, it's been lovely. We have a lot of good plans. We've been in contact with a few good guests that we want to have on. Stay tuned for that. We've got a few projects coming up as well. Honestly, when we say this year we want to take Culture Talk to the next level.
For sure. So please help us out.
Help
like,
us.
subscribe,
Share
comment,
with everybody. Share with your
and
family.
also follow on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Yeah.
Like for those who listen in on there as
Look,
well.
when you're running on the treadmill with your 2020 goals, listen
Have
to
us blaring.
Listen to us. We will tell you how to run on the treadmill.
For reals. We'll
I'm
tell
telling
you
you.
how to do it.
Put it on level 5, incline -1.
What's an incline minus
What
1?
are you talking about? What are you laughing?
Keep on the 11 setting, yeah. Incline like that, yeah. You'll
Remember
be
what most stacks said?
yes.
Slow progress is better than no progress.
Exactly, and that's
Don't
how we
beat
end off
yourself
today's.
up.
That is
Yes,
how
that's
we end off
the
today's
show.
episode.
Quotes from Mo Stack himself.
Thank you so much for watching today. We
Yeah.
will catch you in the next episode.
Yeah.
Please share all our socials. Keep tabs on us on Instagram. We're very active on there, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Peace out.
Peace.